What's going on guys, SuperaTom here. And so Alhaitham's banner information has finally dropped. I know many of us have been waiting for it for quite some time, and yet we are closing very much into his banner coming as well as the Lantern Rite event. Now as usual on the channel, today we'll have a video looking in depth into the 5 major things you want to take in mind before you guys go ahead and pull on our newest coming banner, because the aim of the video is to help you make the best decision possible. Now guys, if you are having a long list of 5-star character you want to pull for but you feel that you're lacking in Primogems, then in collaboration with Primogems Bargain, we're doing a 6,480 Primogems pack giveaway once Alhaitham banners drop. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and join my Discord server to enter the giveaway. I hope that this will help you have a better chance of getting the character that you want. And with that, let's just jump into the video. First off, we'll basically have a look into Alhaitham once again, right before his banner comes, in terms of all of the information that we have about him at this point. So I know that Alhaitham is a character that many of us have been waiting for him, because I have to admit he doesn't just look cool, but also he has very interesting gameplay attack animation, and it's kind of like the thing that I prioritize a lot on a character, because since we already have so many good characters to deal with the endgame content in terms of clearing the abyss, for example, I'm just diverting my attention towards more of a fun gameplay character here and there now. So Alhaitham, definitely check that spot on my mark. I don't know how he is going to be for you, but I myself always like those kind of snappy, fast attack animation character, which is why I have always been a Kuching main. But on top of that, Alhaitham doesn't really just have a good looking attack animation, because from all of the information we have until now, his performance on the field is gonna be rather good as well. Now we haven't got him officially, so I don't exactly know how well he's gonna be performing, but from all of the information, I know that he's gonna be a decently good character. Alhaitham do have access to a lot of different damage sources. Now I know that every character have their E skills and then burst damage sources, but what I mean here is that it feels as if he's able to trigger a lot of off-field damage by himself because of his E skill mirror effect, where he's able to generate Xiao mirror stack all the way up to 3 stacks and then have his mirror projection deal off-field damage while he is on the field doing his normal and charge attack, while also having Dendro fusion, which is really good as well. Not to mention his burst is also going to be able to create him a dome, where it does light projection attack of a few times as well, depending on how many projection mirror you have on the field. So not many characters up until this point have some kind of passive damage they are able to do by themselves. Overall, from what I can see, his kits usually revolve around enhancing his damage output, so he won't be having access to much of his support on your team. But also something to mention is that at this point in time, I don't really see any of the downside toward him just yet, because everything we have seen so far seems to be very good. The only thing at this point is that I would say once again he is going to be pretty much a preference character, because once again he's going to be a main DPS on field, and we already have so many characters which have access to that. The main thing I know many of us would be considering is whether or not you already have Nahida already on your team, because if you already have Nahidas on the team, the Alhaitham wouldn't really bring too much to the table to replace Nahida. However, they are both characters that can work on the same team, therefore they will be able to create you a new team. But other than that, in realistic sense, unless you're someone who loves Alhaitham and definitely gonna be going him already, then many of us wouldn't really need Alhaitham, especially when you already have Nahida on your account. But other than that, I myself think and expect that he's gonna be a pretty good character. Up next, we have Xiao, a character that is already, I believe, on his 2nd rerun. Wait, I think he's already on his 3rd rerun. I don't remember exactly, but I would say that he's been back for quite a lot of time, and I know that many of us would already have Xiao by now. But either way, if you're someone who still didn't get him, or if you are really into Xiao and you're looking for his constellation, then I definitely would say that he is still a worth it character, considering the fact that you don't mind having a lot of hyper carries on your account, because Xiao is a character that works independently. Now the interesting thing about Xiao, I would say, is that he has relatively some kind of unique team here and there, because you don't always see Anemo hyper carry. We just have Wanderer as our newest hyper carry, but other than that, before we only had Xiao. And with all hyper carries, they sometimes runs in unique team, especially when it comes to double Anemo resonance, which at this point is some kind of a rare thing to see, because you don't usually always use Anemo resonance. Now we don't really have to discuss too much into Xiao's power level, because I would say at this point in time he still is a top tier Anemo DPS, since once you build him correctly, he is going to be dealing a ton of damage. So technically speaking, from the day he was released until now, Xiao is still pretty much Xiao. And do remember that back when he was released, he is considered to be one of the top 3 leeway DPSs. Other than that, the really good thing about Xiao is he has unique gameplay, because his plunging attack is the only character who has access till now, and I don't think we're going to be having any other plunging attack character in a long time, therefore making Xiao's gameplay pretty much unique. And not just that, because he does have access to normal attack gameplay, therefore diversing his gameplay a lot. Overall, he's still a very good character if you want to pull for him, but since he is already a character that have a lot of rerun, I know that many of us already got access to him. But if you have decided to pull for Xiao, I do wish you good luck and get him early. Moving on to Alhaitham and Xiao's banner, we just have it drop right here. And this is actually a pretty interesting case of event, because if you have been following my channel and watched my last prediction video regarding which 4-star character is going to be coming, we did not predict Yunjin and Xinjiang to actually would make their appearance. So this is a huge surprise for me. I myself could not have predicted that these two characters would make their appearance. However, this is actually really good, because especially having Yunjin here on the banner, it has made the 4-star character on these banner to be a lot better to try and snipe if you don't want to go for the 5-star character. But if you're pulling on this banner for the 5-star, you're going to be having a lot of good constellations, because first of all, Yao herself is already a new character and someone you want to have as well, because she is the very first Tendril healer of the game, and she's going to be opening up a lot of new team comps for you. Not to mention Yao constellation, I would say the first 2 at least are really good for you to have too. So she's gonna be a pretty much worth it character for you to have. Now, seeing Yunjin here, I know that many of us would be very happy, because Yunjin works really well both with Alhaitham and Xiao. Not too much with Xiao because he's more toward plunging attack, but he does actually use normal attack here and there. So Yunjin will help Xiao to change up his gameplay if you do want to do so. But Yunjin is really good with Alhaitham, because Alhaitham does use a lot of normal attack, so she's a very much perfect character to pair with Alhaitham. Remember guys also that Yunjin's constellation is really good. With every single one of them, I would say give her a pretty nice boost. So she is a character on this banner that you want to kind and try to get all the way up to C6 if you do have the chance to do so. And since Yunjin is already here, I do recommend you to try and at least get a few of her constellation, because gods know when she's gonna be back again. And then lastly, we have Xinjiang. Now I know that many of us don't actually use Xinjiang, but once again, that's not the whole point of Genshin Impact, creating us a whole lot of different character, because different character really appeals to different people. Now with Xinjiang guys, as I have discussed in my previous video, Xinjiang also have pretty good constellation, and especially once you get her all the way up to C4, she's going to be able to help you a lot in terms of physical damage bonus, which is also something that DPS Xinjiang focuses on. So as always, we do know that on every 4-star roster, there's going to be a character that doesn't work well whatsoever with the character of the banner, and that goes to Xinjiang in this case. but overall I would say that this banner is really good for you to pull on. Moving on to our weapon banner, we've already known that it's gonna feature our Alhaitham BIS sword alongside with Xiao's polearm. Now obviously if you are investing to Alhaitham, you do actually want to have this sword on him because it is a sword that makes a lot of difference. Not to mention the amount of crit damage that it's going to be giving to Alhaitham. You're practically never going to be having to worry about your crit ratio. The interesting thing comes when it goes to the passive of this weapon. Basically speaking, you're getting an extra 4% crit rate, but this sword also takes your EM into consideration a lot. So if you're using this sword many of the time, you want to stack a little bit of EM onto your character. Now overall I would say that this sword is perfect for Alhaitham hands down, but for other sword character it's gonna be a little harder to use. If you've already got other mainline sword weapon, especially with the Jade Cutter or the Mist Splitter, then you don't actually need to pull onto this sword because those other two weapons is already perfect onto most character. You don't need to spend too much of your Primogems just to try to get this weapon. But if this is gonna be your first ever 5-star sword, then still it's gonna be a pretty good weapon because the crit damage that it gives is already far from more than good enough just to disregard all of the passive damage that it gives. So this will largely vary depending on your account. Now alongside with that, we have our Jade polearm, where you've already know that the Jade series in Genshin Impact has always featured us really good overall weapons, and that also goes to our Jade spear because technically speaking any 5-star character polearm will be able to use this spear. So overall if you did not have this weapon already, this is going to be a pretty nice addition to your team. So generally speaking guys, if we look with the overview of this weapon banner, I would say that this is a pretty decent weapon banner considering that you don't have any 5-star weapon on your account just yet, because having any of these weapons will make a big difference to your account. But if you've already got many 5-star weapon already, especially when it comes to either polearm type or the sword, then it's just not worth it to have more and more 5-star weapon that just basically gives you almost the same result. Better just yet save up your Primogems for other 5-star new characters. And then moving on, let's discuss a little bit about our future banners, because this is, I would say, the most important part of this video, since we already know that after this first phase it's gonna be Hu Tao and Yelan next, and these two characters are just a beast in Genshin Impact. They are always technically the top tier character and some of the character that you would love to have on your account. So I wouldn't say that you would want to miss the second phase of patch 3.4 and actually try to get your hands on these two. Not to mention after patch 3.4 guys, there's a high chance that there will be new Sumeru character, and I would say it might be Dia this time around. We have been waiting for a long time. Many of us has been expecting that she's gonna be a Pyro Claymore character, and we have not seen a new Claymore character in a very long time guys. So I don't think that Hoyoverse is actually gonna be messing up Dia if she does turn out to be a new Claymore character. Not to mention some of the rerun character that might be happening. From all of the rumors that I have been seeing, characters like Eula, Shanhe or even Ayaka might be making their appearance once again. If they do, it's gonna be a huge patch regarding Cryo characters, but those three characters, especially when it comes to Ayaka, I think she has a slightly better chance of returning because of her new skins that is featured in our patch 3.4. But Eula is a character that haven't been back for a very long time now, basically a year and a half already, and there goes to Shanhe as well, as I know that many of us would love to get her on your account since she is a character that is amazing with Cryo teams. So a lot of character to come and a lot of consideration for you to make as well. But that aside guys, we do have a lot of time to actually save up our Primogems all the way until then, so you needn't worry too much until patch 3.5, but it's something that is worth to consider if you are someone who is loving and expecting some of these future rerun banners. So that's all I have to say before our patch 3.4 release guys. I hope that this video have been helpful and enjoyable for you. Let me know down in the comment section which character you're going to be pulling for this time around. But if you're still having trouble to actually decide deciding the perfect character for your account, then do check out this specific video right here, as I am sure it's going to be very valuable to you in terms of helping you make the best decision. Either way guys, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on our giveaway coming up once Alhaitham banners drop. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me till this part of the video, and with that I wish you a super day and I will catch you on my next video.